Hi everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today we will be discussing another low-level design problem, which is designing a hotel booking system, something similar to Airbnb or a booking.com. This problem is also very frequently asked in low-level design interviews across major multiple companies, right? So let's dive deep into the question and check on this. So today we will be designing Airbnb, wherein you will allow the hotels to onboard onto the platform where they can add their hotel. They can probably add a different room type like a premium room or an economy room, right? And they can add the count of rooms that are available for a certain room type, right? Apart from that, users should be having an API to or functionality to search for a hotel based on a city, right? Like they can search for a city, for example, Los Angeles, which will show them all the hotels that are present in a particular city. Or they can search the hotel by their name, like Marriott or something different, right? Then users should have the option to book a particular room in the hotel of their choice, right? And finally, users should have the functionality to view the bookings that they have made already, right? So before going ahead with the solution, I would like you to take a pause the video and just think out on what the possible approach for this problem is. Right. So let's now jump into the solution for this problem. Right? There are two ways, as we discussed in our previous video, on how you can approach a low-level design problem. One is to do a top-to-down approach, wherein you look at the flow of the application or the website on which you are navigating, and then navigate the website and describe the objects accordingly. Or you can follow the bottom-up approach in which you define the independent components in the system and then define relationships between those independent components. So for this problem, I have decided to use the top-down approach because it is more intuitive, as we will discuss now. If you go onto the Airbnb platform or a booking.com platform, you will observe that you have the option initially to choose the city in which you want to look for a hotel, right? You will have a search bar or a toolbar wherein you have a drop down menu where you search for a city. After selecting the city, you get a list of all the hotels that you can book in that particular city, right? After that, you have the option to you see all the list of type of rooms that are available, like a premium room or a deluxe room or a ultra luxury room, right? And then you can select the quantity of rooms that you want to book, like one, two, or multiple types of rooms with multiple quantities. You can select those rooms from a particular hotel, and then the user can do a booking for that particular room, right? This is the intuitive flow wherein we know that city has list of hotels, a hotel will have a list of room types, and room type can have multiple rooms. So it's a one-to-many relationship that is being formed in these components, right? Similarly, a user can do a booking, and a booking can have multiple rooms, right? So this is the relationship that we see is currently present in the system, and these are the major entities that will be involved, which is a city, a hotel, a room type, room, right? A user, hotel booking, right? These are the major components that are present in the system. So let's dive deep into designing or defining the entity structure diagram for this problem, right? As we discussed in the flow, the starting point of our system is a city. We are doing a top-down approach. So it means that we first define the city and then we explore the deeper levels of this solution. So first of all, we define the city. So a city will have a data member, which is like a city ID, which will be a unique identifier to identify a city. Then the city will have a location info, right, which will be like latitude, longitude, right? We will define this later. And then the city will have a name. like New York or something else. Now, let's also define the location info since it's another class that we have not defined yet. So, location info will have a latitude, a longitude, a street address, or a zip code, right? This will provide us enough information, or maybe something like a Google map link, right? So, this will be helpful for us to identify a particular hotel, a particular city, or maybe a hotel, right? Based on their location info. This will have all the required info that we need, right? Now, now that we have the city, right? We will now go ahead and define a hotel, right? So a hotel will also be similar to a city in terms of the fact that a hotel will have a hotel ID, right? A particular hotel will belong in a particular city. So it will also host a city ID, which will be an identifier to help us identify in which city a particular hotel belongs to. It will also have a location info, right? So that you can easily pass this information to the user who does the booking to reach the hotel, right? Also, a particular hotel will also have a list of room types, right? So we can have different types of rooms that can be assigned, right? Every hotel can have a different type of room. They can call their room types different, right? Some might call it uh, deluxe, deluxe rooms, luxury rooms, or premium rooms, and someone might call it different, like someone could call it uh, block A rooms, garden rooms, right? Like this room type will allow the hotels to define their own room types, right? They can call their room types anything they want, and they can price their room types as per their requirements, right? So a hotel will have a list of room types, and this room type can be easily fetched in our system, right? When we go to a hotel, we can see the list of room types. So that can be enabled by our API to get the room types, right? So when we pass the hotel ID, so we can easily get the list of room types that are available in that particular hotel, right? So apart from this, there is also a hotel manager. So when you are in a hotel needs to manage its room inventory. So what do we mean by that? When we have a hotel, there are multiple types of rooms, and each room type will have a bunch of rooms of that particular type. So let's suppose there are 10 rooms of deluxe type, 5 rooms of luxury, 10 rooms of premium type. So we need to manage the booking and ensure that we do not overbook a room, so that if a room is already sold out, we do not rebook that room. And similarly, if a room is available, we do not show that it is sold out, because that will cause loss of revenue, because or overcharging the customers, and we will not be able to provide them with rooms when the rooms is actually sold out. So that work can be managed by our hotel manager. Okay, so before we proceed ahead, now we will also define, so we have defined the city, we have defined the hotel. Now we have also, as per the problem statement, we need to provide the users with a functionality to search the hotel based on the city and based on the hotel name. So to do that, we will create a city controller that will allow us to navigate across all the cities that are available in our system which have hotels. So the city controller will have a list of cities that are available in our hotel booking system, right? And similarly, we will have a map. So what does this map hold? This map holds the information of all the hotels that are present in a particular city. So let's suppose if somebody calls in for all the hotels in New York, we can fetch this list and return that list of hotels from New York. So anybody can check all the hotels that are available in New York. Similarly, we can also allow uh, similar functionality for hotels, right? So in a hotel, users uh, users want to search for a particular hotel. So we will have a hotel controller which will have the list of all the hotels that are available in their system, right? So if a user wants to have a look at the property of a particular hotel, they can pass in the hotel ID for a particular hotel and they will have the information for a particular hotel, right? So our view hotel API will return a hotel object, and that hotel object will have the information of a particular hotel, right? Then the users will also have an API to search hotels where they can pass in a string hotel name, and this can do a prefix search using a try data structure. I think a lot of you folks might be might be already knowing that algorithm, where we use a try to search for hotels. So that could be used here, and that will return us a list of hotels whose name matches our string for hotel name that is passed here, right? Now, admins can also utilize the add hotel API to add a new hotel into the system, right? Users can or hotel owners can onboard to the platform via this API. They can also update their hotel information through the update hotel API. And in case if they want to exit the platform, they can use the deactivate hotel for leaving the or basically turning off their account for the hotel management system, right? So this is the hotel controller and the city controller, which provides us the functionality to search for the hotels and manage the hotels, right? So now we have covered these two parts of our system. Now let's go ahead and check for the other functionalities. So in our hotel controller, we defined about the hotels. In the hotels, we mentioned briefly about the hotel manager and how it would be used to manage the inventory and the bookings for the hotel. So now uh, let's first of all define the room type, like what's a room type, and then we can go ahead and define the hotel manager as well. So a room type is basically the bread and butter for a hotel, as that will hold the room type ID, the hotel ID for which this room type is defined, and it will also hold the pricing information, like how much a particular room type will cost. So that will be hold that information will be held in the rate card. So this rate card basically has the date calendar, which has the information that for what date is this room type having a particular charge. So this means that January 1st will have a charge of, let's suppose, $50 per night, right? So this map basically stores this information in the cost mapping. So when users will call this get price API for this rate card and pass in a particular date like January 1st, so it will provide them the cost that is associated with this particular room type for this hotel, right? So this also allows the hotel admins to update their prices as per the demand, right? They can update the price if the demand is higher, they can increase the price. If the demand is lower, they can reduce the price accordingly, right? This also enables us to have dynamic pricing, that each day of the year can have a different pricing based on the requirement by the hotel, right? So now for a particular room type, we have the pricing information in the rate card. Then there will be a name like classic, deluxe, premium, elite, or anything that the hotel management seeks to, right? Now we can have more information like how many beds are available in this particular room type. Then there could be a description and image folder link which will have the images and videos for that particular room type, right? Now what we will also have is our hotel manager, right? Hotel manager is one of the most important points of discussion in this problem statement, because your interviewer could question you how you will maintain that the bookings are done such that you do not overbook a particular room, and you maintain the calendar, right? So therein the hotel inventory manage so the hotel manager comes in, which will help you manage the room inventory in your particular hotel. So in the hotel manager, we will have a room inventory, which will tell us that what are the different types of rooms, what are the different types of rooms, and what are the rooms available, list of rooms available for a particular type of room type. So let's suppose we have a deluxe room type, and this will have a list of rooms which are having a type deluxe in a particular hotel, right? Then it will also have a inventory count, which means that how many rooms are available for premium type of room, right? So you can have 5 rooms for premium, 2 rooms for classic. What this to help us do is, this room inventory count is a real time map of how many rooms are actually available right now. So when you check for availability of a particular room type in a hotel, you can directly check this map and return a response that whether a room is available for premium or classic, right? For a particular room type, whether there is any room available or not. So it is a very fast way to return the response for availability, right? Then the hotel manager allows the hotel to add a new room type, right? And they can provide all the information mentioned in this. They can also add a new room of a particular type. They can increase the inventory here, right? So this API could be used to update the room count when there is a booking. So let's suppose somebody books a room of type deluxe. So at that time you will decrease the inventory count, but when somebody releases it, you will add back the inventory count, right? So that is handled in our booking room API and the checkout room API. So when you book a room, the book room API basically holds the inventory in place and validates if the room is available, and then decreases the inventory count by 1. When you do a checkout, that room is now available to book again. So therefore, the inventory count for that room type is increased, and that room is put back into the booking column, right? So lastly, let's also define the room information, right? A room will have a room ID. It will also have a room type associated, right? So that we can easily identify what type of room is this. Then a room will also be attached to a particular hotel in which this room belongs to. Then you will have a booking information, when and whether this room is currently booked or not. And lastly, it will also hold a date time object, which will provide us information into the future about when and how this room is booked, right? So this calendar information, so this will basically be a map or a date time complex object wherein you can store what all dates is this room booked at, right? Lastly, we have the booking object, wherein we will store the booking information that is done by the user, right? The booking object will have a booking ID. It will have the payment information. So payment information will have uh, payment information like the transaction ID, the mode of payment like credit card or EMI, right? And it will also have the hotel ID for which this booking was made, and the list of rooms that are attached for this booking. And lastly, it will have the date time object, which will signify for what dates is this booking made, like from January 2nd to January 7th, right? So this will have that information, right? Lastly, we will have the user, which will be having a user ID, a name, email, contact information, and a list of booking that will be storing all the bookings made by a particular user. And you will also have a booking get booking API, which could be used to fetch all the bookings made for a particular user, right? so the user can easily check out all their bookings. And we can also have another API to uh, get a particular bookings information, wherein we pass the booking ID. So this will provide us more information about a particular booking rather than getting a list. So this will return a list of bookings, right? Whereas this will return a particular booking, right? So in this way, we have basically defined our hotel management system, aka Airbnb or booking.com. So in case in an interview scenario you are asked to design a Airbnb or a booking.com, you can look back at this video and check out the various components that we've defined, right? So again, to recap, the hotel manager is the bread and butter on how you have defined the room types and manage the room inventory, right? You use the APIs to book room and check out room, to update the inventory and put the rooms back into availability once they are released from the booking. You also have the date time object for rate cards, where you can easily store information about the pricing for each day of the year, right? So that you can have variable pricing. You also have information about the room's date time object, which will have information of when this particular room is booked and when it is available, right? Hope this video makes sense and helped all of you in your system design learning journey. Catch you again sometime later with another video that can help you. See you.